So today we're going to react to ESPN's reaction. Some of the reaction from Steve Nicol was a little bit hilarious. So why not we watch together and react to what he says?
That Real Madrid, on their way to winning this title, beat Chelsea, PSG, Manchester City and now Liverpool. Stevie, I'm drawn to you first.
I wonder why.
How are you?
I mean, he's already mad. You can see his response.
I'm scratching my head, and I'm sure Klopp and the players at Liverpool and everybody else is wondering how they lost this game.
They didn't score.
See?
Exactly. I mean, the response was perfect. Like, they didn't score. That's why they didn't win. But now he's going to make some excuse. Let's see.
You look at you wee smarty pants Real Madrid ways.
No, well, isn't that not the fact?
Well, if you want a serious answer, the truth is, the only way that Real were going to win this game was if the goalkeeper had a worldie, if they got a break, and if they actually scored with any scraps that they got. That was the only way they were going to win this game, and that's how it panned out.
Two things he mentioned. If the goalie has the best day, which is true, it doesn't matter it's final or semi-final. Every team and their goalkeeper has to be best. If not, they would not win. But if a goalkeeper has played one of his best game, it doesn't mean other players did not play good at all. Second, he also said that if they score a scrappy goal, I mean, the goal we scored is not a scrappy goal. It's one of the most beautiful team goal you can score in a final. Stevie, watch the highlight again and talk yourself. Is it really scrappy goal or a beautiful goal?
Because if you're Liverpool, with the amount of possession, and particularly the front three, you know, let's be honest, Alisson's had nothing to do. The back four did the job. The middle of the park did the job. The front three that we are always talking about how good they are, well, when it mattered most, they didn't produce. And that's why Liverpool have lost, because they spent, what, 45 minutes in the Real Madrid half. And if you do that, then you expect your playmakers, goal scorers, they have to perform. And they didn't. They lost 1-0, as you correctly said. You've got to score a goal to win the game. Mm-hmm. And even the goal they lost wasn't even a decent bit of play. It was a shot at goal that was going wide that went straight to Vinny Jr. So everything fell right for Real Madrid.
Oh my god. I mean, he's so salty. Where should I start from? Okay, first of all, he's blaming Liverpool's front three were poor. But if you want to say they were poor, there could be two inferences. Either they were really poor, okay. The second, maybe Real Madrid defenders did pretty well against them. That's why they were poor. Which is the case in this match. Which is the fact. In fact, Carvajal versus Diaz. Oh my god. You guys have seen that Diaz had no chance. Carvajal totally pocketed him. And Salah, Mendy and Cruz did pretty well to nullify him. And Mane, he had only one really good chance which Courtois saved it. But other than that, he wasn't a threat at all. Like Militao and Alaba was there. So simply your attackers did not perform their best because our defenders did their job. And also, he again bashed our goal scoring. He said the ball just fell into Vinicius' path, which is not the case. The pass was good from Valverde and the playmaking of that goal, the build-up was something really amazing. If that's not a good, beautiful team goal, what is a beautiful team goal? Stevie?
Let's get some reaction then, shall we, from Paris?
But let's talk about Real Madrid because they are the champions of this Champions League. It's a story that I keep saying that we have seen it play out time and time and time again in La Liga. Robbo, you made the croissants representing Real Madrid. You got it correct.
But I have to say, I was really impressed with Real Madrid today. Yes, Liverpool had chances, but there was some magnificent performance.
Oh, we don't. I believe we're not hearing Rob.
I think his mic is not working, but what he said, our performance was magnificent, which is true. We had one of the best tactical performance.
So Frank, let's go to you. We'll try to sort out Robbo's mic in a second. Frank, thoughts on how Real Madrid did it?
Well, after 5 minutes, I realized that something was going wrong with Liverpool. Normally, they give the high pressure. They do what they have to do to make sure they put under pressure the team that they play against. Today, it wasn't the case. And I always said, you don't play well a final. You win or you lose a final. And Real Madrid, I have to say, made all ingredients, especially defensively, to do well. On top of it, the goalkeeper was absolutely fantastic.
Unbelievable.
We talked about Dani Carvajal, and the guys said in the studio, the guy was, for me, the man of the match. He was a character. He showed that he was a warrior, that he didn't want to give up. I mean, that was fantastic from Real Madrid. Really disappointing from Liverpool because they didn't play they normally play.
So what he said, Carvajal is man of the match. I disagree. I think Carvajal had one of the best game of his career, if not the best. But for me, he wasn't the man of the match. The man of the match was pretty obvious. It's Courtois. And other thing that I slightly disagree that what he said, Liverpool normally press really good, but in this match, they didn't do well. I think Liverpool pressed as high as they do usually. But the difference from this match was that we have dealt with their pressing really good. We absorbed the pressure as much as we could, especially at first half. And we waited for the moment to score goal.
Frank was sat beside me the whole time, and we were saying this time and time and time again that, of course, Liverpool are going there with the momentum and stuff, but sometimes you just need this nitty-gritty, dirty way of winning the match. Is that something that Real Madrid has kind of perfected?
Well, I wouldn't say it was dirty. I thought they played very well. They defended well. They had, yes, the keeper made 4 or 5 good saves. But Eder Militao, you talked about Carvajal. Eder Militao was absolutely magnificent tonight. He won challenges, he looked quick, he won balls in the air. Valverde got the team high up the field on times. They hit him with all their goal kicks. They got it out to him on the right-hand side. He ran past Robertson time after time. And I would also, Casemiro didn't have a great game on the ball, but defensively, I thought he was magnificent. He intercepted, he got in between the centre-halves at the right time, he cut balls out that were played into the box. And when they needed to, they played around Liverpool's pressure. I mean, some of their intricate play, one-touch passing, two-touch passing, I thought was brilliant. I don't think Real Madrid got enough credit tonight.
Real Madrid would not get enough credit, which is absolutely true. Like, most of the pundits are bashing us that we didn't play well, despite we won the game. But what they don't realize that it was one of the most beautiful game in terms of tactics. Now, he also mentioned a couple of good points. He talked about Militao. For me, Militao, wow, my God, what a player. A couple of matches ago, like, he was a little bit off, and many of our fans were criticizing him, which I thought was unfair. But in this final, in the big game, he showed up. He was a gigantic. He did not do a single mistake, in my opinion. And he also talked about Casemiro, said Casemiro wasn't good with the ball. To be honest, Casemiro was never great with the ball. That's not his strength. His strength is defending and blocking all the attack from Liverpool, which he did pretty well.
Real Madrid didn't know how to play through the press. That was the problem. And that Liverpool had them where they wanted them, just couldn't finish them off, primarily because of their final ball and a brilliant goalkeeper.
Which I disagree with that. He said Real Madrid didn't know how to play out the press. Honestly, that was a game plan for us. We did not want them to score easily. All we wanted in first half, our game plan was to absorb the pressure, let them attack, let them press, make them tired as possible. And whenever we have the chance, we'll take it. And most of the time, we tried to play out from the back, especially long balls from Militao. And a couple of the long balls from Valverde and Militao was really good.
They couldn't get out. How many times did we see Kanate fighting with Vinny Jr. or Benzema with a big high ball 40 foot in the air? That's all we saw in the first half. So, again, I'm with Craig. Up until the goal, I mean, really, where were they playing from? Because you couldn't play out. You could argue whether Liverpool were that great the way they pressed, but they did press.
Again, I disagree that we did not play out. Well, that was the game plan. We did not let Liverpool to have a space and do counter-attack and score goal. We wanted to have it compact. That's it.
But even then, they couldn't pass the ball out. They couldn't do it. They kept booting it. So I don't get that at all.
And also, he also said that we had a couple of good chances after the first goal. Well, it doesn't matter. Football game is 90 minutes. When we scored the goal, it was 58 minutes, right? Liverpool still had 30 minutes to come back. But here's my point. Football match is 90 minutes. It doesn't matter when you score. Even if you score after 58 minutes, 60 minutes, it doesn't matter. Even if you had only one shot on target at first half, that doesn't matter as long as you score in 90 minutes. That's how football works.
So how did they defend well? I'm finding it hard to get my head around it. And the more I think about the game, the more I'm thinking, Liverpool are going to be thinking, how did we not...
You're thinking a lot.
How did we not beat this team?
When you think a lot.
How did they defend well? Well, look at the stats of Militao, Alaba, Carvajal and Mendy. Militao won all the aerial balls and most of the ground duels. And he had decent about good tackles. And same for Casemiro, same for Alaba, same for Carvajal.
How do we not win this game? How do we not beat this team?
Because you came out...
Because you can't. They didn't defend well. If your goalkeeper has a world day, plays out his skin, makes 2 unbelievable saves and 3 other great saves, how are you defending well?
That's not a good argument, honestly. As I already said, just because Courtois had to save a good amount of saves, it doesn't mean we defended bad. The big chance creation by Liverpool is just one, which was by Salah. And that's the only time we caught out of position. Only because of a slight mistake from Mendy. I thought he could do better. He didn't realize that the ball would get to Salah. But eventually, Courtois saved it. Again, just because Courtois had one of the best performance, it doesn't mean our defense was bad at all. In fact, most of the attempts that you're talking about, statistics-wise, are from outside of the box.
Surely that's not. Surely that doesn't. Well, is it me? Does that add
I know
up?
what you mean.
Is it me?
Well, I think what we should say is...
the goalie's the best player on the field, but we defended really well. How's that?
I think what...
We had 9 saves. I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Liverpool won the Champions League in 2019, Alisson was man of the match and he saved 8 chances, seemed almost close to us Courtois. But Stevie didn't say the same thing that Liverpool had bad defense because that was his team. All he's showing is bias towards Liverpool.
I must have been your kitchen with you.
I thought they... Well, so I
Well,
thought
they
the
had
goal
one shot at goal.
should have stood.
One shot on goal? Come on. After the goal, we could have 2 more goals easily. Like Ceballos missed 1. Casemiro could have easily 1. Either he could shoot or he could pass. The pass was really bad, which he tried to do. You are still saying, what chance you had? And Liverpool had only 1 big chance. That's it. We had 3 big chances in the match.
They had one shot at
I
goal.
thought the goal should have stood, and they had plenty of
offside.
opportunities when what about when
Oh, by the way,
Ceballos is
that
running
was-
through
that
should
was the
score?
first time they were
There was times when there was
The
times
offside goal
when
was the first time they got that
Vinicius
far up the
Junior.
field.
Well, that's not offside. I think that goal should stood because their players played the ball out.
Well,
And
you're
then
obviously-
they
you're
only have
obviously
one shot
Liverpool
at
biased, aren't
goal.
you? That's the problem. You're
They've got one
Liverpool
shot
biased.
at
That's
goal,
why
Robbo.
pundits should never be supported. Liverpool biased.
Emotional damage.
Oh!
That's how
You
I
just
see it.
stood there. You
That's
just
how I see
stood
it.
there and said that the goalkeeper was man of the match. He made 4 or 5 great saves, but they defended brilliantly. I'm sorry, that doesn't add
Yeah,
up.
into-
That's like 1 and 1.
Well, you were shooting from most outside of the box. Our defenders are inside the box. So it doesn't mean that we didn't defend well just because Courtois had to save a couple of good chances. Come on, Stevie. Let's talk on theory. If you shoot outside of the box, say 30 meters years out, if the ball goes to Courtois, that would be counted as safe, right?
I mean, I don't know.
No.
I'll sort of jump in.
I mean, look at his TV, how mad he is, how furious he is. I mean, I like it. When he feels the burn inside. I mean, as we won, it feels better now. We're just like watching some comedy show. Anyway, it's very hilarious video. He's just furious that Liverpool did lose and we won the game. And what he fails to understand that football is not about having more attempts or more shots on target. Football is about scoring goal. Let me know what's your thoughts about this whole reaction. And thank you for watching. Hala Madrid.